Hi guys, it's Ross at FoodTravelMusicLove.com, inspiration from the heart. This is one of our Tripadvisor reviews. Today we're at Manos, cheesecakes and burgers, and we're down in Pattaya, Thailand. This place has been here just a short time, I believe, only like a year or so. We're down on LK Pavilion, which is just off Pattaya Thai. It's kind of the road that connects Pattaya Thai with Third Road. So Pattaya, Thailand, beautiful part of the world, beautiful food on the way hopefully. As always, we will start off with location and access. This place is a fairly new premises. I think it used to be a guest house prior to this. Been here I believe a few months, a year or so. If you've seen any of my other videos that I've done down here, there's a great little Thai place. It used to be Lek Pizza, so if you see my other stuff you'll see where we are, near LK Trademark, but this is LK Pavilion, so it's a road that kind of connects Pattaya Thai with the Third Road. It's like a little wrap run, little shortcut. And that's a perfect little place for footfall for this this new cheesesteaks and burgers place. I'm really looking forward to trying this. Cheesesteaks is not something I've had before. I've had a few burgers in my time, as you can see. So cheesesteak is something new for me, so I'm looking forward to trying this place out. I like to come down and review places that we haven't been before and food that we haven't tried before. That's the key. Looking at parking down here, I mean there's not many spaces for cars down here really, but there's they've got kind of coned off areas where you can stick your bikes out the front. As far as I can ever tell, most people around here, they use their bikes to get about, or they get a bolt, or they just get on the bike. But you've got parking here anyway, plenty of bikes going past. There's one little step to get up into here in terms of accessibility, that we always talk about that. There's one little step to get up in here and that's it. Otherwise then it's, oh sorry, excuse me, there's kind of like another like 2-inch little step as well. Basically, if you're pretty good on your feet, you'll be absolutely fine in here. Then it's all just one floor. It's quite a small premises. I'm looking at like kind of 8-9 tables. They do delivery as well, so if you want to get any food from here on delivery, that's an option. But I think it's good to come down here and try the place, nice and fresh, straight out the kitchen, onto the table, into the gob. This does already show up as well on Bolt. I actually got a Bolt down here, so this does show up on there, so that's quite handy if you do want to just try and find a place and you're new and you don't really know where I'm talking about when I'm saying Pattaya Thai or Third Road. If you just look on your Bolt app, it does take you down here. It's probably on Google as well, on Google Maps, so those sort of things make it a lot easier to get down here. Obviously they're all over Facebook, etc. as well, so you'll be able to find this place, I'm sure. Let's move on to facilities and services. I'm sat in the outside area here, as you can probably tell. There are some fans going. I've got a nice 3 or 4 fans that are above me that are going. That's keeping things nice and cool. There's fans indoors as well, and there's a large kind of mobile aircon unit that I can see blowing some nice cool air about. So it's actually really, really nice and cool down here. Some of the restaurants down here, they're open plan, open air, but open air means open heat. They are very, very warm, some of the little restaurants down here, especially like the Thai places, but this is actually really quite nice and cool. You're in Thailand, embrace it, embrace the heat and enjoy your food. They have got their own toilets here as well. I always mention that if they have. It sounds boring to some people, but some people don't want to trek off, you know, 4 or 5 minute walk to go to the loo and have to pay 10 baht and see if they've got any change. No, on-site toilets, that's fine. As I was mentioning, they've got like 5 tables indoors in the indoor area, like kind of 4 or 5 seat tables there. Then there's 2 tables that are outside. Looks like there's space for a 3rd table as well. Again, seating kind of 4 or 5 each. Nice big round tables, so you can sit on the outside or the inside. Let's move on to food and drink. As you would expect, being Manos cheesecakes. As you would expect, being Manos cheesesteak house, cheesesteak is the speciality here. Now that's not something I'm aware that I've had before. It's a Louisiana special apparently. It's not something that I've had before. I haven't been to Louisiana, I've only been to America a couple of times myself. Obviously you can get these things all over, you haven't got to go there clearly to get it, because I'm sat in Thailand about to have one. I'm not sure exactly what to expect, really what is going to turn up on my plate, and that's just what I like. I've asked just for a couple of little specials, a couple of things that they do here that the customers like to eat, that I can then show and see whether other people want to come down here and try it. If I enjoy it, hopefully you guys will as well. The thing that I would put this tantamount to would be like a pizza or a burger, where there's kind of a basic setup and then you can just kind of add to it, bespoke it, do what you like thereafter. So you add your veg, you add whatever extras you want with it. I don't think apparently there's any one authentic way of having this sort of food now, so the authentic part is the cheesesteak. Thereafter, you just add what you want to your own taste, and that's what it should be like. So fingers crossed, this is going to be good. It starts off with the basic cheesesteak. There's about 8 or 9 different options in between, and it goes right up as far as the super ultimate cheesesteak. So you can really do what you like here to your own standards, your own expectations, and just load it on. Absolutely load it on by the looks of it. Why not? Then you go on to the burgers. They've got various burgers, sliders, chicken wings. It's really what I would say typical great looking American food. There's a fried platter as well. I like the idea of that. Various bits and pieces. The word platter always appeals to me. It's a great word, isn't it? Platter. What are you going to get on that? What are you going to get? Look at over the bar as well. They've got all your standard kind of drinks that you want here. They've got a few spirits I can see, a few beers in the fridge, a few soft drinks. They've got a nice little range of stuff here. It's not a huge menu, which I actually quite like. I've been to a few places and there's a lot of different things, and that's fine, that is fine, but these actually specialise in what they do, and that's it, a few little sides. And personally speaking, I prefer that sort of place. It's like if I get like an Indian meal back at home, I'm not always a fan of getting an Indian meal if I know that they also do pizza and kebab, and because it's like, well, what are you specialising in then? I like the idea of someone specialising in what they do and providing that one type of food. Not knocking anywhere else, this is just what they do here, and this is what I'm looking forward to having. Well guys, with a little bit of fear and trepidation, excitement, anticipation, all of it, this is a feast going on here. I absolutely can't wait to tuck in. We have kind of a selection of sliders here, a traditional cheesesteak. Oh, that feels that bread feels amazing. That feels so spongy. That's the idea, I think. It's all homemade, proper homemade stuff on site, and that bread there has been made specifically, I think, to soak in all those juices. Nothing goes to waste, dripping about all over the place. This seems the perfect place to start. Oh my word. That is absolutely fantastic. Naughty. I mean, brilliant hangover food. Absolutely smashing hangover food. I haven't got a hangover. Oh. That is absolutely beautiful. Just look at how packed that is. This was a totally new cuisine to me, this sort of food. It's essentially like a fantastically chopped up burger with some onion, mushrooms, etc., and then put into this beautiful spongy kind of it's not a baguette, it's a lot spongier than a baguette. I'm not even sure what I'm going to call that, to be honest. It's a cheesesteak, so right. Now, that cheese is brilliant. They do their own homemade cheese sauce here apparently, and that cheese is really nice. That really complements that. Fantastic. Problem is here, I've got so much grub to try, I've got to leave something, so I've got to go on to try some other bits. I don't know whether I'm going to end up using this knife and fork or not. I'm not sure what the etiquette is, but most of this looks like to me like it should be finger food. I think the knife and fork might be there in case I look like a bit of a tart. I think they obviously know me well. I don't know what to go for first. They've got all of these dips here. These are all on-site homemade dips. Everything made with absolute love and passion. That's what I love. I'm not going to dip anything in actually yet. perfectly cooked onion rings. Oh, really crumbly batter. Those onion rings are lovely. Honestly, just the amount of batter that you should have on an onion ring. It annoys you when there's too much batter, you can't even taste any onion, you might as well just have a plate of batter. And when there's hardly any batter on it, it's pointless having a batter there, you know, it just sort of crumbles off before you've even bitten in. These are brilliant. There is a selection of condiments there, mustard, spicy sauce. I'm avoiding the spicy sauce. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm an absolute freak for spice. This sort of food here doesn't really need to be spicy. I may or may not add some Carolina Reaper on my cheesesteak in a bit, but I think any food like this, any food like anywhere that you go, really should be tried as it's meant to be, as it's been prepared. That's my take on things anyway. However, a little bit of salt for the chips, I think, is okay. They're really well made chips. I've said before in other things, chips are one of the easiest things to cook, but they're one of the easiest things to get wrong as well. So many places just get chips wrong. These are fries. Again, need to be technical, these are fries, aren't they, not chips. So many places get them wrong. And I just think, how? Try some of this mustard. Yeah. American style mustard. Not like your English stuff. You wouldn't want a whole bowl like that. That'll be enough to feed a family of 10. Right, chicken with their kind of buffalo sauce. This is going to be messy. Oh wow. Buffalo sauce isn't something I've often had. It's something that hits your tongue straight away when you put it in. That is nice. Got a little bit of a kick. And obviously I'm a fan of that. Anything that's got a kick naturally, like how it's supposed to be prepared, is great. That's why I don't mind adding chilies to Thai food, because a lot of Thai food is supposed to be spicy anyway. So then if you're adding chilies, you're just complementing your own taste buds, that's fine. You're adding it and whacking it on. Start adding loads of Carolina Reaper to this, or whacking loads of mustard all over it, you're completely bastardising what the chef's just done for you. Do you know what I mean? Well, that is brilliant. This is an absolute joy, an absolute feast. We've got 3 sliders here I haven't even touched yet. Now I think there's 2 types of chicken going on here. This is a mixed platter. Definitely shouldn't be eaten by one. Probably can be eaten by one. Probably will be eaten by one. But I'm sure this is like something that you'd have as a starter or something on the side. Maybe not. Oh well. These are basically chicken, fried chicken, but without the buffalo. Really, really good. Proper naughty, indulgent food. Something that, like I said, you'd really enjoy morning after a fair few beers, or with a fair few beers. Beers aren't compulsory, by the way. I think they are. We'll try some of these other dips. Oh. I love homemade dips and sauces, because you get so used to whacking, you know, a bit of Hellman's, a bit of Heinz in your mouth, and you just get used to that same kind of mundane flavour. Something like this just instantly tastes authentically homemade, you know, unique. Right, somewhere here, I've got to get onto these beautiful burgers. Oh, again, the bun is absolutely brilliant. Really, really good soft bun on it. Right, apparently 2 of these is like tantamount to 1 large burger. Let's see. Oh, wow. That is so juicy. Let a bit of the juice go over the onion rings. Oh, fantastic. Absolutely lovely. It's great having the jalapenos in there, not just for the spice, because they're not overly spicy. There might be to some. But it's about contrast in texture. Not just flavour all the time, but I like having a little bit of crunch in there. And the little bit of background heat obviously helps. A little bit of crunch with that juicy burger is fantastic. I don't know where to go next for a run. I think it's got to be back to the cheesesteak, innit? It's got to be back to the cheesesteak, man. I honestly can't get enough of that cheese in there. There's a time and place for your camembert, for your gouda, for your brie, all those really fancy flavourful cheeses, and there's a time and place for a good kind of homemade plasticky kind of cheese, for want of a better phrase, and this is absolutely brilliant. It goes so well with this. This has been a really, really, really enjoyable experience, and there has been a lot of those, especially over here in Pattaya. I've had a lot of good culinary experiences and reviews over here. This is going to be tough to compare to so many other places that I've been. Absolutely amazing. Well, I was saying about location and access. There's literally a car parking up right outside now, so there is enough space here for a couple of cars or about 8 or 9 bikes. But if you've got the bikes, they'll probably say, do you mind moving the bike so you can get the car here? That's probably how it'll work. So there's space here for a couple of cars. Yeah, yeah, I know, yeah. This, you're thinking, do I normally eat this for lunch? Yeah. If it was possible, this actually sort of gets better the further you go into this. Now, there's a lot of obviously depth of flavour, centralised, but because of the quality of the bread, as you're biting into it, the bread has soaked in all of those juices, and it's containing the heat really well. It's really, really containing that heat. So the bread is soaking in all those juices. Wow. That's rare. I might be a rare one to say this and comment on this, but that is rare for something like this to actually get better as you go on with it. Absolutely fantastic. It's the sort of food where it's offensive not to make a mess. There's a lot of people who are going to be thinking, how are you possibly eating all this on your own? Fortunately, I mean, if I didn't have the camera here, I think people might actually call someone for professional help to see why I'm tuckered into all of this much at lunchtime. I can literally hear people in the background considering what one burger to order or what one cheesesteak to order. I've got an order this. Why not? Why not? While I'm still letting some of this food go down, ready for the next mouthful, we'll have a quick look at value for money. I've said before that I don't like to talk about specific prices because the prices are correct at the point that I'm doing this review. I don't want to jeopardise anywhere that I'm reviewing, no matter what the review and the rating is, by giving out a price. Somebody watches a video or goes on Facebook, sees something on my website 2 years later and says, you said this was 200 baht, it's now 300 baht. Yeah, because restaurants have to put their prices up sometimes, and then I get the flack for it, the restaurant gets the flack for it, just because of some troll. So I will give you a brief idea. Cheesecakes start at about 240 baht. I think that's really, really good for a cheesecake like that, 240 baht. You got your burgers, random prices I'm going to look at. Double Western burger, 300 baht. An 8 slider set, 8 sliders of these, that's amazing, 460 baht. Value for money, therefore, I'm going to leave that being really, really good value for money. Considering the location as well, yes, we're not down on the beach overlooking a beautiful sunrise, sunset, etc. But location in terms of how easy this is to access here is really, really good. So I think value for money, considering everything, considering the premises, considering the food, is really, really good. Therefore, our official FoodTravelMusicLove.com rating is an overwhelming 10 out of 10 for Manos, cheesesteaks and burgers. Absolutely brilliant. I would have to recommend getting down here. Fantastic. I don't know where to go.